Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another series review. I just recently watched American Gods seasons 1 and 2. Now, first season was verbatim toward the book, which I absolutely love, being a huge Neil Gaiman fan, and you probably are aware of this if you know how much I absolutely love Sandman, and I didn't really know that he had written Sandman. It was just something I came across. It had always been what was it? Starlight, and there's a few other films. Not just Starlight. I don't know if I kind of get the feeling that he worked on 10th Kingdom. He probably didn't, but that was one that I remember in my younger years that I absolutely adored. And A Nazi Boys, which is actually a prequel to American Gods, absolutely my favorite. And I came to be a Sandman fan later on in life, but I adore Sandman, and honestly, I'm looking forward to it becoming a series, if it ever does become a series. Right now it's in development hell, but I just pray it does, because us Gaiman fans deserve it, I believe. Good Omens, yeah. Good Omens was the most recent, and Good Omens was just perfect from beginning to end, and I just thought you couldn't have done any better. This is how an interpretation of a book should be presented in its full format, and in all of its satire and all of its tongue-in-cheek nature, the Brit wit. This is absolutely phenomenal, and I love every bit of it because this is so delicious. And this is similar, although with season 2 it gets more, dare we say, political SJW, and no offense to that, it just really grates on my nerves, and I thought this wasn't in the book. Although maybe Nazi would have supported his fellow man, I don't think it was necessary. Please don't flame me. But it wasn't needed for the telling of the tale, honestly. It was just there just to be woke and to appeal to the millennials, which doesn't need to. Sorry, a little bit of a nag, and it's just, for me, it's just something that gets underneath my skin, and I get tired of it, and it makes me kind of upset. But season 2 had a redeeming moment, and that was in the very last episode, which speaks of the power of fear in humans' lives. And this episode was extremely profound, and it just speaks to the living hell that 2020 was for a lot of us, and I am not excluded from that. 2020 wasn't my worst year. I still think that 2008 was. If you want to know why, you can ask me in the comments, but yeah, 2020 has nothing on 2008. It was an episode that ended in a cliffhanger, and given the news that we are looking forward to a 3rd season, which is very exciting for me, it makes you wonder where they're going, where the directors and the producers are going. I know they're following the book, which is good, but season 2 deviated quite a bit. It was true to book, yes it was, but there were just elements that just were unnecessary, and just as far as I was concerned, making statements where no statements really needed to be made. Beyond that, though, I have to say that American Gods is one of my favorite television shows, and obviously for Nazi, he's my favorite character. I adore Nazi. I love him. He's very arrogant. He's very charismatic, and I love the fact that he'll talk with, you know, your stereotypical drawl, and then he'll go into that dialect. I'm not sure what kind of dialect that is, but it just, that powerful dialect is just really intimidating. And he talks about his brother, and it makes you wonder if we'll see his brother. A small spoiler, but season 2, a lot of fans were kind of upset with season 2, and I won't say why if you've not seen season 1, but I think they made a good decision with season 2, and I won't go into the details as to why, because that's mum, and I don't want to spoil it if you haven't watched season 1 all the way through. It's very short, and it's binge worthy, and the storytelling is just so lavish and just sumptuous, just as Neil would paint a just stunning picture with his word poetry, and it's just ear candy, really is. I just, the lyricism of it for me as a writer, it just is so beautiful. And that's why I love Thoth, and how they call him Mr. Ibis. I thought, well, that makes sense. And in season 2, we're introduced to another goddess. Yeah, I'm not gonna say who she is, but immediately I knew who she was when I saw her appear. I thought, that's who she is. I told my friend, because he's not familiar with Egyptian creation myth, so I had to explain why that was who she was representing and why it made sense. Then you have American myth, which I just love because I'd forgotten about our American myth, so it reintroduced me to that. I'm not sure what else to say about American Gods other than it's worth every minute. Although season 2, you think, ooh. And then that little history lesson. Yeah, the history lesson in that one I really enjoyed, because as a history buff and being somebody who loves the trivial when it comes to events in the media, it was absolutely spectacular and terrifying for obvious reasons. I'm not going to divulge as to why that is, but just watch and you'll understand where I'm coming from. Season 3. I have a lot of theories surrounding season 3. I'm not going to go into them, but I am intrigued to see what will occur, although I do know what's going to happen because I've read the book, and hopefully they will go back to form in season 3. But other than that, I've absolutely loved this season. Seeing Anansi is always a treat, and he's just, he's just so handsome and stylish and suave, and I love a man that has that. And I know probably in every sense of the word he would be considered metrosexual, but I think despite the little bit of metrosexuality he has, he is masculine in all accounts. I love him. He's probably my favorite of all the gods, I would have to say. Wednesday's probably a close favorite. Well, I don't know. I like Wednesday quite a bit, even though he is quite the bastard. But I think Mad Sweeney is definitely up there. I love him as a tragic character. I don't know. Media. I like her a lot. Who else? I don't know if I can say. I like Thoth. I like Thoth and Jackal. They're interesting. And I like the Egyptian gods because they're just very intriguing and different. And of course, Thoth is a narrator, so of course I love him. And he is a very erudite character that I enjoy. That's all I have to say for American Gods. So until next time, live on and prosper. Ciao, Titi.